Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly legacy tournament here at Grey Ogre Games. It's Lost Legacies. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts alongside Ben.
Hello.
Ben Huang.
Hello, it's me, Uncle
Hello.
Ben.
Hello, Uncle Ben.
I'm Uncle Ben.
I
no,
thought
no,
it was
no, no.
yeah,
It's all
that
good,
was
it's all good.
Uncle
Yeah.
Fu.
Last time I was here, it was standard, so it got a little bit wild.
As well as standard can get, right?
Yeah. No, we had a lot of fun.
But this time it's legacy.
This time is Legacy, the format I know best.
Mm.
And we have Kenji Ng on the left. I think he might be playing a lands deck. And
Okay.
Wei Wen, I have no clue.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like we'll update it as we go along, right? Like this.
But in terms of Legacy in general, just
yeah,
it's not a
that-
format
that's-
that has been untouched by Oko. Unfortunately, Oko is here. It's not as omnipresent.
I
I
haven't
think
I haven't watched enough Legacy recently, but like I've seen the deck list and it's weird. It's weird that you have Oko inside.
I mean, it's a value 3-drop kind of.
It's strong.
Planeswalker, right?
It's strong, right? Like it comes down. It's got like 5 toughness.
Yeah.
It's basically got like 4 or 5 toughness.
And its versatility is what you really want in that kind of deck, right?
You know, it's always creating creatures. You know, basically nullifying your opponent's creatures as well. Oh, it starts off with a
This is a very strong start.
yeah.
But it
so
might not
Kenji
matter
is
too much
lands. Yeah.
against. It might not matter too much against a deck with Ancient Tombs in it. So
Oh, okay, that's true.
yeah.
What is this mono red?
Okay, this is a Chalice on 0. Is this a Chalice on 0?
Oh,
it's a
no,
Chromox.
not yeah.
He wants to put a Chromox into play. Wait. What's going on? What is he doing?
Rewind.
I've never seen someone
Apparently
pick up
he's
the cards
allowed. Yeah.
so quickly. What is going on here?
Did he just mistake the chalice for Chromox?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
that might be a very bad keep. Alright, so Chalice
not
on
too bad.
1.
He's got Chalice on 1, but it doesn't matter too much against the lands deck, to be honest. I
Yeah,
think
because they don't cast any
the
spells.
one's already in play. Unfortunately, Kenji draws the only one in his deck left.
All
But yeah, this could be one of the quickest games you ever see in the stream because this is a 2020.
right.
And if we win,
Okay.
doesn't have a bridge, lights out, Guerrilla Radio.
Yeah. Oh, that's fast. This is fast.
No one gets my.
The Gorilla Radio.
Any of you
Oh, come on.
Rage Against the Machine fans. Yeah, this is quick. That's what my first
Oh.
wife
Oh, wow. Whoa.
said. Damn. Jokes on you, I've never been married. But
So-
just to kind of give a recap, we didn't do an event like this last month because we had to do the WP and Q.
Yeah, and I think that was something that doesn't come by very well. It will soon come by very often, but like there was the first of.
email to ask us to do the second one already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was standard. One of the Sundays it was here. It was very weird for me because I had to go and read up on all the standard cards. It was really interesting.
Homework for Ben.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Wei Wen.
Oh, okay.
He made a mistake. He needs to have
That's-
he needs to have tapped that Mox Diamond in advance to make that a 2020.
Oh.
He can't
did
tap that
he?
Mox Diamond for mana. He was too quick to say yes. And this, my friends, is why you play and practice Magic, right? Because like he needed to know his opponent's cards. Kenji's like, I have the win. I don't give a beep
And then
about like what my opponent is doing.
oh no.
And then now he can't.
No,
activate-
you
he
can't-
activate
no,
that because of the. And he's like, oh, how could this happen
To me.
Made my mistakes. This is just straight up a mistake.
Yeah.
Right? Like
this was an
there's
unforced error. This
unforced error, and like it might even go on to cost him the game because he's gonna be able to play a land here, and he thinks, okay, I'm gaming at 2020 this turn. Oh, he can't.
Oh, you can't play a land. There's
But
no
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because his opponent's gonna be able to play a Blood Moon,
And then he's just
or
gonna-
If he has another land, he's gonna be able to. And he tapped the wrong land. Clearly, you should tap the ancient. Right? You're not trying to steal the. Wait. Okay. That has to go into the graveyard. Huh? That City of Traders has to go in the graveyard.
Which one?
The City of Traders that's tapped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the graveyard.
That's
No,
not the graveyard.
okay, that's not the
Yeah,
graveyard.
Yeah. So I'll go fix that.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben. All right, so Blood Moon comes down after the mountain does. So the mountain enters the battlefield, and then the City of Traders has to be sacrificed. Yeah. So Yeah, so in order to produce the red mana, obviously he has to lay the mountain first, and therefore City of Traders goes bye bye. For those of you who don't know what City of Traders does, it's a great card.
Yeah, whenever you play another land,
You just have to sacrifice
you
City
just
of
sacrifice
Traders.
City of Traders. It's a traitor. Traitors with an S. There's multiple traitors.
Multiple traitors.
Multiple traitors, not just one.
It's got the womp.
Yeah.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Yeah.
So-
Originally printed in
Yeah,
Exodus,
yeah.
of course.
Now, we weren't going for the full lock, and he getting liquid metal coating,
Ouch.
so he can turn his opponent's lands
Into-
into artifacts and then turn them into 0/0 creatures.
Khan is not a busted card at all.
No,
No,
It
absolutely
couldn't have
not.
gotten him like a bajillion cards to solve this problem. No, it's not nuts at all.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a broken card at all.
This is ridiculous. I mean, Kenji went from like having the game locked up and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we weren't supposed to like lose on turn 2.
yeah,
Right,
yeah. And we could have gone for like lunch, early, but no. Now we're forced to sit here and watch as
To watch the
slowly
decimation.
turns his opponent's lands into creatures.
Ouch!
My word.
Yeah, this is
He
bad.
does he have a punishing fire in his hand? Probably not. Probably gamble to rub salt into the wound.
Wow,
He does have a
that's
punishing fire.
like
He does have a punishing fire. Okay, so Blood Moon is sort of risky
uh
against Dark Depths because it comes into play without any counters on it.
yeah. So if
So
Kenji
you
has
do-
a way to get rid
yeah,
of like
he
the
does
Blood
have a way to
Moon.
remove the Blood Moon, and all of a sudden, surprise!
But I mean, does the lands deck have anything main
Nothing in
board
the
to get
main
rid
deck.
of?
Yeah.
All right, so a punishing fire here just to take
Just
Khan
keep him under
down.
control, but I mean,
It's
yeah,
not much.
I think the game is effectively over.
Mm.
It's just whether or not, and like I think that's something that a lot of players need to recognize is how the next two games are going to play out, right? Like, if you're Kenji and you're like, I'm playing this game just because I feel so embarrassed for missing the onboard thing.
Then I
That's
think
not-
you're doing it wrong,
That's
right?
not the way to go.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Blood Moon.
The other complaint I have,
Mm-hmm.
for those of you who are here to listen to me complain,
Whoa.
is the fact that a lot of players who play on camera or just legacy players in general don't
Mhm.
really maintain game states very well.
They're a lot quicker. They tend to play a lot quicker.
They're a lot more casual, and it's because they're used to playing for fun with their friends. And I get it, but it's such a complex format, and you have to really like look at everything and make sure it's all in order. And it's a good habit to have. And as casters, me and you, we see the most of it, right?
Oh man.
We see
We
have
see
to
what's
get up.
caught. We see what's caught on camera. And
Yeah.
imagine like what's not
That's my
caught.
next point.
That's-
This is
yeah.
like this is a pair of players out of the other 15 pairs playing, and that's insane, right? Like
you can imagine.
you can
like,
imagine,
how
and that's
many-
why I think like Legacy is a great format, but if players don't start taking more responsibility for like the way they play,
Mm.
the games are just all it takes is for one malicious guy to just go and abuse the trust that these people have, the community has,
okay.
right? And be like, I'm gonna brainstorm and put back just one card, right?
or not put back any cards.
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
like brainstorm for 3 cards. And we've seen that before, right? Brainstorm for 3 cards and then there's this like long pause.
And then not put the cards back.
And then
like,
there's a discussion at
and
the table and then
so a lot of
suddenly
legacy players, despite how old the format is, don't have the habit of tracking like their opponent's cards ahead, right? Like you can actually work through the number of cards in hand based on the number of turns that have been going on in the cards they played, like, right? Fetch lands don't count, cantrips don't count, that kind of stuff. There's easy like heuristics you can develop for keeping that in check. And
Do you think that this is specifically a legacy problem? Or do you think that like other formats are also affected by such a thing? Because for legacy, especially in Singapore, like and even across the world, right? Like
as a quick aside, the game is kind of a non-game right now.
Yeah, so that's why we're talking
that's why
about-
we're talking about this. If you wanted to, we could explain all the cards that are in play. But you can see most of them yourselves.
Yeah,
And,
it's Chandra.
If you like to, if you like to chat, you can just tell us, ask us if you want us to like kind of
So the
clarify on certain cards. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's go back to the topic.
So where I'm thinking maybe the reason why you're saying that maybe legacy is a bit more of a problem is because we don't have as much
Competitive legacy.
competitive. Yeah, exactly right.
Okay,
Do you
okay.
think that might be
Yeah.
like a root cause of the issue?
I kind of buy the argument. Like, there's not a lot of. There certainly hasn't been a legacy GP ever in our part of the world, Southeast Asia. Right?
Yeah.
There's been some in Japan. And,
Japan and
Yeah,
France.
but that's also a counter argument, right? As in Japan has regular large legacy events, whether it's Eternal Weekend or I think it was GP Kyoto a couple of years ago. And all of them kind of contribute to exposure, right? Yeah. So the players that don't go obviously don't have to play at as high of a
higher
level.
level, yeah.
But I think in general, I think it goes beyond legacy players. I think it's also the fact that with so much of the game moving online,
Mm-hmm.
and so much of it becoming a virtual, kind of a mix of the virtual game as well as the physical game, players don't have to develop the same kinds of skills that you used to develop like as a kid playing in like the late 90s, right?
That you have to be
Yeah,
careful about your triggers and you have to be careful about your timings and
and
stuff
more,
like that.
more importantly, I would like to say that that's all you have to learn, but you have to learn to count your opponent's cards because your opponents will try to draw extra cards.
Yeah.
You have to count your deck before every round because your opponents will try to do stuff like shuffle
Man,
your deck
that is like
and hide
damn old
and hide your
school.
cards and then call a judge on you for having less than 60 cards in your deck.
That
You would have to watch for your opponent looking at the cards in your hand or his friends like sitting behind you or standing behind you signaling what cards you had in his hand.
Yeah.
So like if you have anybody's watched me play in the store, whenever I look at my hand, I put my hand face down, and then I memorize
you do the
cards.
poker.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
basically do
you
the
have
poker
to
pick,
memorize the
right?
cards in your hand. You memorize the cards in your opponent's hand. Today I see players are a lot friendlier than now than they were in the past. Today like if you see somebody, the guy will just play the rest of his cards open
For the rest of the
for the
game,
rest of
right?
the game,
Or, yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So I think the community has definitely come a long way.
Yeah.
And I think it's very heartening to see a lot of it, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be playing good Magic, right?
Low crime doesn't mean no crime, people.
Yeah, no crime doesn't mean no crime. Plus the fact that the skills of being aware of possible crime or not
Is an
is
important
inherently
skill
a
that
good
you
skill,
should have, yeah.
And we're not even talking about crimes. We're talking about game states.
Just
Right?
misdemeanors.
Maintaining the playing the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
Maintaining the integrity of the game, right? Imagine if he had left that City of Traders in play. Right?
Yeah, that would.
Then somehow he's like, oh, okay, next turn I can
Next
just
time I've got like
uh,
6
yeah,
mana.
I've got
I
6
can
mana, I'm
do-
just gonna cast a lattice or something like that, right? Like it would have been super confusing, and if you were not on stream, you might not have caught that. Right?
Yeah.
And it's a responsibility of both players.
Mm.
It's not just the guy whose cards it is, even though it's large part of the time it is.
You as the opponent,
You as
it's
the opponent,
actually
and you
your
are the most
responsibility.
motivated
Yeah.
person, right?
Mhm.
Every it's a zero sum game, right? Every edge that he gets is something that he's taking away from you. Yeah. Anyway, sideboards.
Slash and rant.
Yeah.
But that's not a rant. I mean, like that really is.
I think it's
is-
important. Like
yeah.
we watched the WPNQ. This is the highest level of Magic we have. One of the highest levels of Magic we have in the store, right? It
Mhm.
qualifies you directly for the Players Tour.
Yep.
And I saw players who just sloppy. They just not missing triggers left and right and stuff like that. Stuff that's not mandatory. That's mandatory they miss. Stuff that's not mandatory they try and rewind and go back to do it.
And that's the worst part, right? Like, I mean, it's an invitational, which means that you really are the top 32 players that were playing in the store prior to the event.
Yeah.
And still you're doing stuff like this. It's well, I want to say it's disheartening. I, as a judge, I walk around, I see a lot of these things. I can't intervene.
yeah.
Right, I really just can't intervene unless it's like a detrimental trigger or
And the
anything.
thing that scares me is the amount of angle shooting.
Oh, Alfian.
Sorry.
Are you trying to create an echo chamber?
Hey.
Oh. Yeah. So yeah, like, I mean, like, it really is kind of troubling because there's a lot of angle shooting. Like, there's people who clearly know what the rules of the cards are.
Oh, for sure.
And then you see them, like, they call a judge over and they'll ask. And
That's
then I'm like, dude, you've been playing this game for so long. You clearly know how you registered these cards. You clearly know what these cards do. The decks are the same. You guys are playing like a 74 card mirror.
And the 74 card mirror.
And then you're trying to tell me that I don't know,
you sort of did this question mark.
If I
Oh,
sacrifice a
man.
token to make my Wicked Wolf indestructible, can he still bounce it with Brazen Borer? I'm like, dude,
It's like,
are you for real? Okay. Anyway, sideboards. We're gonna see some Croissant Grip,
Yeah.
some amount of Croissant Grip coming in from Kenji.
Oh,
I think some
for
amount of Tyler's Tracker, so he can hedge against his opponent's plan. Unfortunately, Wei Wen's bridge, Ensnaring Bridge is going to be good against both halves of that plan.
Yeah, I
could
mean,
see
like-
something like Molten Vortex being powerful.
Oh, that'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
That'll be
But I
interesting. to
think
see.
the key here is the interaction that Kenji has with cards like Blood Moon. And,
Yeah, it'll just be like natural states and
Yeah.
uh,
a very key card is going to be what should I call it? Mox Diamond.
oh,
Yeah, because Mox Diamond is going to be able to get around most of the non-basic land hate.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's also going to be
That's-
able to fuel cards like Life from the Loam, Punishing Fire, Molten Vortex.
but he
and getting
doesn't.
both together.
Yeah,
So
but he has to.
he has to tap
not-
it first.
Yeah, he has to tap it. Number one, he has to
Before
tap it
Khan
first.
resolves, obviously. I'm sure he will never forget that bit
Yeah.
of Khan, at least for the next
W-
couple of days.
One of the wonderful things about playing like paper or just like playing Magic and making mistakes, right? That are literally game ending
Yeah.
for you, is that you'll never forget.
Yeah.
You will never
Yeah,
forget for the
yeah.
rest of your life. Like
I think if you take the game seriously, you'll never forget.
yeah.
And it's not necessarily the case that people take the game seriously. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like a
That's
lot of
true.
it-
That's
and
true.
that's I think what we've been talking about when it comes to looking at Legacy as well, right?
Mhm,
That
mhm.
it's by and large, it could be at times a more casual format,
Mm.
a format where people are more laid back about the quality of their play because they don't really want. They're not really here to win the prizes, even though we're giving away a lot of prizes.
They're here to play Legacy because
Yeah,
like there's
yeah.
not
It's
enough
a form
Legacy
of
for Sword, right?
self-expression. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And there's not enough legacy. That's an interesting point that you bring up, right? Because there's all this fear that because Star City Games is no longer organizing events or holding
Legacy, yeah.
SCG opens with legacy, like there's going to be less legacy. I don't think that's the case. I think
Yeah.
inherently it's a good format, and somebody will pick it up.
I
If the-
see
if people
th-
don't pick it up, it's still going to be played.
I see all the stores that I've been to, like overseas in
Yeah.
Poland and in Portugal and in Italy. Like they're big on legacy. They're big on modern. They're big on legacy. Not so big on standard anymore.
Right, right.
And hopefully soon they'll be big on Pioneer. Speaking of which, next week. Next week we'll have our monthly seasonal qualifier monthly, and there'll be Pioneer. It's like our first big
Yeah, it's this month.
stream Pioneer event.
It's
yeah.
this month.
It's the end of this month.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, do join
And,
us.
For
yeah.
those of you who live in Singapore and who are joining us here from Singapore, we have Pioneer on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Pioneer on Tuesdays.
but remember to check the ban list on Monday.
Yeah. So we figured it was a little bit much to, but even then the bans only go into effect on Friday.
On Fridays, right?
Yeah. So someone could have played the copycat deck on this past Tuesday.
Last week, yeah.
Nobody did. Yeah,
Legacy
hey, Goblin
Pop.
guy.
Hey,
it's been a
what's
while.
up, man?
remember
Yeah, I
this
haven't
person.
seen you. Haven't seen you in a while, man.
Wasn't it Goblip guy?
Goblip guy, yeah.
Guide.
No,
Wasn't it
Goblip guy.
before? No. Okay.
Goblip guy.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not Ryan. Ryan is Take Goblin Bomb.
Yeah. So Kenji keeping his hand, we weren't looking for a slightly more aggressive, I think, set of 6 cards. So yeah, he has. To
I
decide.
think is that Simeon Spirit guy? Yeah.
Oh, he's keeping us. This is a 7?
No, I saw him mulligan once.
Oh, he's thinking about what to push, right?
Yeah.
He has to be. Okay. Yeah, that's the push. Yeah. So I think on Wei Wen's part, he's beginning. He might not truly understand how powerful Khan is, given the role of Mox Diamond in this matchup.
Yeah.
But he's very well aware what his opponent's playing. He knows that cards like Blood Moon are going to be super crucial, and of course he's seen the 2020, so he knows that having access to Ensnaring Bridge is also quite key. So
Because
he
I mean,
might
like,
have
he
decided,
can-
he's down to 5. Yeah. He might have decided
Yeah.
out some amount of Goblin Rebel Masters and the kill conditions, because that's not so important to him. But I see he's pushing a Legion War Boss, so they're still in the deck.
Legion Warboss is an interesting card to keep in the deck. I mean, like, okay, so Legion Warboss versus Goblin Rebel Master.
They play both.
They play both.
Yeah. There's a sweet spot.
It's
a
like
sweet-
3 and 3, right?
Yeah.
3 and 3.
They-
Okay.
it's a sweet spot of like having a 3 mana threat, like, because typically you cap out at 3 to 4 mana, right?
Yup.
You have a soul land, and then you have a
Just a red source.
yeah. So yeah, we see the aforementioned
Oh, what
Lots of
a
stuff going
start.
on. Kenji bringing in the Sphere of Resistance
That's
against
a-
a mono red prison opponent. It's a card that you would think the mono red prison also wants to play.
Yeah, exactly right. You're not
typically-
out prisoning your
Yeah,
opponent.
typically you don't want to bring in symmetrical cards in the matchup where the opponent would be happy to have the same card on their side, right?
Mhm.
Then it'd be truly symmetrical. Right? And I suspect Kenji's deck suffers a little bit more than this because like Wei Wen can put permanents into play that make a huge difference.
Mhm.
And whereas Kenji to put permanents into play he has to
Pay-
cast a 2-mana sorcery over and over again.
Yeah.
So this is a really really interesting choice on Kenji's part. It might show a little bit of inexperience in terms of his familiarity with the matchup.
Mm. Yeah, Sphere of Resistance is definitely
Yeah,
a
but
word
this-
pick. I'm
It's
wondering
definitely paying
whether
off this turn. This game is for sure. But he ripped that Rishonen Pot, right? He didn't have the Rishonen Pot in hand.
yeah,
Yeah, but maybe this is how he drew it up.
nice.
He's like, I'm gonna play a turn 1 exploration into a sphere and then have Rishonen Pot to lock my opponent down. Yeah,
And we went-
exactly, Goblin Guy. I agree. Like it seems really tricky. Like right here, he can play a Soul Land and play a Chalice on 1. You know,
Revoker
and
from us,
then
Yep.
some of your options are pretty poor now. He can't play this, and I'm gonna have to go tell him
Yep.
why.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, so Sphere of Resistance prevents him from playing the. Oh. Oh, Spirit Guide. Sorry, I didn't see. Right, Spirit Guide. My bad, Spirit Guide. Did not see. No, he tossed the Spirit Guide after.
I'm sure he was tossing it as I was leaving.
Yeah, no,
I went
he
all the
thought
way up to tell the guy.
he tossed the Spirit Guide like right after you left. I
Yeah,
was like,
okay, but again, sloppy play, right? Like
you should be doing
you
it.
have to. You can't put the card. Yeah. Anyway.
Spirit Guide is not.
Classic shots versus aggro shots mirror. I don't know what an analog you would have to the lands deck in Legacy in the Vintage. But yeah.
What would be the lens deck in Vintage?
There is a lens deck.
Is it?
There's a fast bond like.
Ah,
prison
okay.
deck.
Right,
it's called
okay.
Zeus Bond or something like that.
Zeus
but
Bond.
named after the guy who created it.
Mm.
Then there's Eric's Crab Shack.
What?
Yeah. It's a deck with Fastborn, Oboro, and some of the the Ravnica like
bounce lands.
the gating lands, the bounce lands, the Karus.
The Karul, yeah.
Yeah, and a Hedron Crab. Hedron Crab.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
hell?
it's called Eric's Crab Shack. Named after the guy who created it too.
Eric's Crab Shack.
Yeah.
You see, Vintage decks and Legacy decks have so much more
Hey, Samurai
interesting
Fun.
names
Yeah.
than like standard decks, right?
I
It's
mean,
like
currently standard is not in the best place. It's kind of like
Typhoon,
yeah.
Simic Food,
Or,
Rakdos
Oko.
Knights.
Oko has made his way into
Moko.
into Vintage too.
Yeah.
There's Oathco.
There's a what?
Oathco.
What's
It's
okay,
the
okay,
Druids with
Oath
Oko. Because
okay.
Oko turns your opponent's boxes into 3/3s and you play Oath the Druids and then you get to
And then you get to
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty
That's
good.
very cute.
Yeah. Dab for Blood Moon. Yeah. So hey, but we can kind of see the strength of Mox Diamond here, right? And Mox Diamond and that basic for us are what are
Just
keeping
gets
Kenji into the shout. That Blast Zone, very interestingly enough, coming to play without a counter on it, so that if he does manage to remove that
the Marilage tokens or
well,
get the Marilage token.
more importantly, if he manages to remove that the Magazine Moon with a Punishing Fire, which he can play because he has a whole bunch of mountains.
He can get rid of
He
the
can get rid of
Mox
the
Diamond,
Chalice.
Mox Diamond and the Chalice.
Yeah, he will unfortunately have to hit his own Mox Diamond.
Mm.
Yeah, but he can get rid of the Chalice too. Because of the fact that Blast Zone has no counters on it.
Yeah.
But when it comes out from under being a moon,
And then
being under a blood moon, it doesn't remember the fact that it
needed
that it
counters.
used to be a mountain and now it's back to being a blood zone. So yeah, this is a backup blood moon.
oh,
Yeah, paying the cost ahead of time. Thank you.
thank you.
So you're saving me the hassle of having to go up and fix it. But this is another
second sphere of
you see,
resistance?
okay, so this is
Why is he
stones,
taxing himself
stones
so much?
to dab, stones to dab. Yeah. I don't know about this. I don't know about these spheres of resistance, to be honest.
I
Like I
I
think
did he take that? Oh, wait, I'm gonna ask. Like, do you think he took that out for? Do you
Punishing
think
fire.
punishing
I
fire?
hope not.
Because like he's never gonna get rid of the 2-2 if that's the case,
Yeah,
right?
it's just gonna lose in like
In five,
like
six
six more
turns,
turns.
six
Yeah.
turns.
Yeah,
This
it's just
feels
really
bad.
really interesting. And unfortunately, without access to cards like Brainstorm, all that good stuff, and with your Chalice on one, with Chalice on one, it's hard to find other cards in your deck, right? You don't have access to Gamble, you don't have access to Crop Rotation. Yeah, so this is a Chrome Mox that he has to pay 2 for. Great. People are doing what their cards say.
Yay!
Yay.
Hooray.
There's another mountain.
Okay, so
Oh, okay. Wait, why is it? So he's sandbagging lands. I don't understand why he's sandbagging lands.
who? Kenji?
Kenji. Is he worried about price of progress? It can't be, right?
Well, that would be hilarious though. But
Come
that's
on,
not
dude.
that's not
Look,
in.
this guy. He just had 5 mana try to play a Chandra.
All right, okay. So Goblin Rebel Master, that's fine.
Okay, Goblin Rebel Master is gonna get in for a bunch. It's gonna get in for 3 now, and a whole bunch
And
next turn. Yeah,
I
and all of a
think that's the
sudden
end of the game,
yeah,
right?
that's
Next
the end of
turn?
the game next turn. If Kenji doesn't have some miraculous sequence of events, so I'm curious as to why he was sandbagging a whole bunch of lands.
Yeah, but I mean, like price of progress is not something
It's not
that
something that
that
would play,
mono
in
red
particular
prison
mono red deck would
plays.
play.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Like the one-off price of progress in your sideboard just against
Yeah.
lands. It's like, oh, you turn your Merit Ledge into BOOM! You're gonna get ya.
Okay, so Trinisphere is gonna continue locking this stuff down.
All right, so interaction between Trinisphere and Sphere of Resistance.
I believe you pay.
You pay for Sphere first.
You pay for the spheres first.
Then after that, you pay the additional cost for Trinisphere. I believe so.
Yep.
I need to go
mean,
and check
from
this
from
out.
my years of playing Vintage, I believe that's the case. You kind of see here the problem of sideboarding poorly, right?
Mm.
If you bring in the wrong cards, if he had real cards in place of those 2 spheres, yeah, I mean it's 80% for Stumpy. I agree because of the so much main deckable hate that you have for the way that this deck wants to win. But like if he had some real cards instead of that Sphere of Resistance, if he had like for example a Punishing Fire, he could have taken care of the Magus of the Moon and kind of unlocked his
And-
lands.
And get started a little bit
Yeah.
a little bit earlier, right?
Even if it was Tireless Tracker,
he
coulda-
could just block.
Yeah,
he
could
can
have played
lay
a Tireless
lands.
Tracker, lay a whole bunch of lands, get a whole bunch of clues, and use all his beautiful non-basic mountains to activate these clues and draw a bunch of cards. If it was Sylvan Library, he could have dug his way out of the situation. But just Sphere just does, like the card says, it does nothing. Oh, that's now Rod. Sorry,
That's not
But
right.
it's
Not right.
pretty much the
Doesn't
same
do
thing.
anything.
It does nothing.
Not in this matchup
You know,
anyway.
this
Yeah.
matchup. Okay, yeah. So clarify. Sphere
Okay,
of
so-
Resistance and Trinisphere.
Trinisphere's ability affects the total cost of the spell, so it's applied after any other cost increases or cost reducers are applied. So, if let's say you played a Brainstorm with the 2 Sphere of Resistances out, you still just pay 3, right? Because like the 2 Sphere of Resistances add on to the
Hey
cost.
Mick, so what about Delve?
Delve. Oh no, Delve doesn't. It doesn't affect the cost of Delve, does it?
Uncle Mick.
Oh no! Now I have to figure it out.
card that says Delve.
No, Delve only says that you can pay.
that says everything costs 3.
How much
do I pay for my Gilmac Angler?
The exact same price that you pay for your command, because the you're not reducing the cost. You're only
question if you say it's the exact same price you pay for a Gilmac Angler because the Gilmac Angler has so many permutations of prices.
well,
You could pay 7. You could pay
no, but
6.
you're only paying for the Delve is the alternate cost for. Is it alternate cost? It's not a cost reduction. It's
It's not a
alternate
cost reduction?
Yeah, it's not a cost
Oh.
reduction.
Are you sure?
It feels to you like it's a cost reduction. You're actually paying the
An
mana
alternate cost
with
so
cards
kind of
from
like
the
picking
graveyard.
a card from your hand for Force of Will.
Exactly.
But don't you have to pay 3 for that?
You still have to pay 3 for that.
Oh.
But the cost of the cost of the spell.
Okay. Next round on.
Okay, I'll need to
Put
go and
Mick
check
in
this
a
out.
spot.
All right.
so
We'll be back in about
Thanks.
20 minutes.
It was a
time.
really quick game. Goblet Guy, thank you for pointing out the fact that this game was won by a Grey Ogre.
Yeah.
And it's very fitting. I appreciate it. I love it.
3 mana 2/2s. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we didn't get to play too much more Magic. But we'll be back in the second round. Just to be clear, we are Tokyo Games. We're still
Yep.
based in Singapore. We
Yep.
travel to America for GPs once in a
Mhm.
while. We do Australian GPs. We just came back from GP Bangkok.
When's the next one?
Brisbane.
Brisbane,
Brisbane,
okay.
start of December.
Okay.
You can catch all of this stuff on Twitch here, obviously, if you're watching on Twitch
Yeah.
and on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And we are on Facebook. You can get in touch with us on Facebook. Send us a message there.
Yep.
Yep. And we typically stream one Legacy event every month. And this month's monthly is going to be Pioneer.
Yeah,
It'll be lots of fun.
our very first Pioneer thing. Are you excited,
First
Alfian?
foray into Pioneer.
You can hear it in the
I have
background.
not sold as many Smuggle Sculptors since Kaladesh standard.
Oh my gosh, it's not banned! Oh my gosh, it's not banned!
Yeah, but you never know. Come Monday.
come this
Yeah,
Monday,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right, we'll be back very, very shortly. Remember, do check us out on our stream, twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames, youtube.com/GreyOgreGames, and Facebook. So we'll see you guys in a bit.